James along for the ride. They ride. They ride. September 7th, they rode into town just to take old dames down. Colt 45 strapped across their hips, yeah. JYG etched in the grip, and I often think about when they rode into my town. Will they try to roll the dice? Thinking Minnesota nights. Minnesota nights. Where white dusters 3 walked in the bank, walked out to open sea. Haywood cried, said, "Don't kill me," but that time lock won't open till 3. They ride. They ride. They tried to run, they tried to hide. Those old Yankees let the bullets fly. The town folk stood their ground, yeah. Northfield took the James game down, and I often think about when they rode into my town. Will they try to roll the dice? Thinking Minnesota nights. Always felt the sense of pride growing up in this college town. The home of heroes like Joseph Lee, Haywood, Wheeler, and the man in the night. Oh, this little town showdown. I often think about when Jesse rode in my town. Well, they probably rolled the dice. Thinking Minnesota nights. Well, often think about when Jesse rode in my town. Well, they tried to roll the dice. Thinking Minnesota nights.
Minnesota Nice, Chad Johnson music. We'll see how things go here. Final match of the day, Nebraska Elite starts us off. This is the ACB seed in Pool 7. We start now. Short serve and quickly, Northern Lights 1-0 over Nebraska Elite. Paige Stadler back to serve. Rocks it into the 6, sent up high in system. Strong side attack coming. Big swing through the block and to the floor. Good strong attack by Nebraska Elite. Scores, and it's 1-1 early in 1. Elena Ingram to serve for Nebraska Elite. Sends it over, falls to the floor. Ace serve. It's a clean one. Point, Nebraska Elite. Ingram to serve once again. After we get things sorted out here. 2-1, Nebraska Elite ahead. Here it comes, over, Fettrell there. Stadler returned to center. Fettrell cross-court shot, picked up, but into the scorer's table. It's outside the antenna. Point to Northern Lights. 2-2 in set 1. Back and forth we go early on. Final match of the day. This is the ACBC. This will determine first and second place, most likely, as Tao climbs back into the broadcast booth to serve. She sends it over and down. Ace serve. Tao, point. Northern Lights. Both of these teams will play tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. scheduled start. Strong side attack coming from Nebraska Elite over the block. Tao with the dig. Stadler's going to push outside to Jenna Gleason. Swing. And tipped over by Nebraska Elite. Halbersma sends it up. Stadler back across to Gleason. Down the line, off the deflection into court 66. Point Northern Lights. And Lights has a 2-point advantage in set number 1. Both of these teams undefeated on the day. This is how you would expect it. AB seed will go 3-0, 2-1, 1-2, 0-3 as the pool is laid out. Let's see if Northern Lights, being the B seed, can shake up the order and take the top spot here in pool 7. Be in the convention center tomorrow as Tao sends it into the 6. Nice serve, nice pickup, right side attack, roll shot over. Stadler with the dig. Munson's going to go outside to Gleason. Gleason steps into it. It finds the baseline. No, overruled by R1. It's long. It looked long off the hand, but that's a long way for me to see. R1 overrules the lines judge. This is Libero, pink jersey, white number 15. Katie Vitalo to serve for Nebraska Elite. Vitalo over. Munson punches it to Stadler. Sent over by Northern Lights. They're going to come right side. Tip shot over. Tao is there. Stadler with options. She's going to go back to Halbersma. The lefty sends it swirling into the seam, and it's down for a kill. Halbersma sent a corkscrew into the 5-6 seam. It worked. Point Northern Lights. 5-3 Northern Lights lead with 5-6 serving. Munson up, sails it into the bleachers, and it's a point Nebraska Elite. Munson likes a little more depth than she has here. She likes a deep approach, and she's constrained in this gym. Serving for Nebraska Elite is Taylor. Jenna Gleason sends it up high. She'll take a rip at it from the back row. Picked up nicely by Vitalo. Now the strong side attack is over the block. Munson with the dig. Stadler to Gleason, and Gleason tip shot scores for Northern Lights. Smart play by the Lakeville South product. Saw a hole and went after it. Now substitution here. Sakura in to serve. Halbersma will get a break. Sakura finds the gap between the bleachers, and she'll let her rip. Nice serve picked up by Vitalo. Ball rolls across the court. We play on. Net attack by Nebraska Elite. Point Northern Lights. And it's 7-4 with Sakura coming back to serve once again. Looking to double up Nebraska Elite. Good tough serve. Vitalo is there. Right side attack. Tip shot is short. Point Northern Lights. Sakura successful in doubling up Nebraska Elite. It's early in set 1. Sakura, another good tough serve. Nice pass. Scrambling though. Two-handed over. Sakura with the dig. Munson goes over to Stadler. Stadler steps into it and rips it off the deflection and out of play. Oldall there for Nebraska Elite, but it deflects into the fans, and we'll get an early timeout from Nebraska Elite. They trail by 5, 9-4. Good showing here in the gym. Quite the following from Northern Lights squad. Ran into a group of them last night at the Hilton Lobby Bar. Good fun here in Omaha. Sakura is going to back herself up again into that gap, raises her hand high. Here's the approach into the 1. Good pass, right side attack. Nope, free ball coming. It's over. Munson backs off, takes it. Sakura into the middle. Dante, big swing. Pesky net in the way. Point, Nebraska. Back to serve. This is Bellamy Meyer. She winds up, high toss, jump, fire. Munson is there. Sakura is going to run back to Gleason on the right side, down the line, picked up by Latalo. Strong side attack, tipped over the block. Good job, Sakura on the cover. Munson all the way across. Stadler steps into it down the line. It's long. Point, Nebraska Elite, and it's now a 3-point deficit. Meyer continues at the service stripe. Meyer. Good serve. Munson goes down to get it. Sakura brings it back. Gleason tracks it, but then fires it short. Point, Nebraska Elite. Ball comes in from court 68. It's returned kindly. And now Meyer just down 2, 7-9. Set 1. Meyer up. Good strong serve. Gleason sends it high. Sakura chases it down, goes outside to Stadler. Stadler not good on the attack. Point to Nebraska. And now Meyer looking to knot things up at 9. Northern Lights led by 5 moments ago. Good strong serve over. Gleason, perfect pass. Sakura into Dante. Dante over the block, picked up by Vitalo. Strong side attack coming down the line. Sakura sends it up high. Munson to Gleason, two-hander over. Picked up by Nebraska Elite. Vitalo's going to go outside over the block. Sakura with the dig. Munson goes strong side to Stadler. Stadler keeps her feet over the block and to the floor. Stadler, precise shot into the campfire, scores for Northern Lights. And now Jenna Gleason to serve. Gleason leads by 2, 10-8. She goes down the line, fought off, out of system, free ball coming, and there it is, nice and high. Gleason underneath it, Sakura to Dante over the block, and scores. Dante, nice job adjusting to the set there. She was coming inside, and the set went a little bit outside, but she was able to recover, find a hole over the block, and score for Northern Lights. 11-8 now. Gleason into the 6. Right side attack. Big swing. Cut shot over the block. Nice dig, Munson. Sakura back to Stadler. She goes into the 6. Picked up Nebraska Elite. Strong side attack coming over the block. Sent up high. Gleason, nice set. Fettrell slightly mistimed. Point, Nebraska Elite. Allington back to serve. Down 2. Munson backs off. Perfect pass. Sakura into Dante. Big swing off the high hands. Picked up in the 6. Strong side attack coming. Big swing off the high hands. Munson dig. Sakura goes outside. Fettrell with a bomb into the 5-6 seam. Scores. Fettrell lets loose and crushes it into the 5-6 seam. The Sibley East High School product scores for Northern Lights. And now Dante back to serve. 3-point advantage. Dante into the seam, picked up by Vitalo. Middle attack coming. Past the block, to the floor. Point to Nebraska Elite. Good help from a younger sibling of Tao. Hands me the ball. And now Nebraska Elite to serve. This is Jacobs, down 2. 10-12. R1 says just a second. And here we go. Sent over. Gleason with the pass. Sikora goes back to Stadler. Stadler steps into it. Goes to the 6-1, but it's long. Point Nebraska Elite. 11-12 the score. Jacobs continues at the service stripe. Looking to tie things up here in set number 1. Jacobs over. Gleason there. Sikora good hustle. Fettrell roll shot off the net into the floor. Nice job by Fettrell scoring, staving off the tie attempt, and now Paige Stadler back to the line. Sikora will get a break. Halbersma up front, and Stadler. Good strong serve. Vitalo is there, but we're out of system. Free ball over. Munson's turn to Stadler. Outside. Fettrell, big swing. Dug up high. Strong side attack coming. Stepped into it off the block. Stadler off the deflection. Munson, look out. Those are stationary bleachers. Good job holding up that pursuit. And it's a point Nebraska Elite exactly halfway through set number 1. Northern Lights 13, Nebraska Elite 12. Ingram to serve. Looking to tie things up again. Ingram over short. Stadler, nope, that's Fettrell, can't get to it. And where you've got the Black Cat point on Saturday the 14th, 13-13. Ingram will give it another go. Short serve, Munson is there. Stadler chases it down. Halbersma free ball over. And now here comes Nebraska Elite with some momentum. Munson on the dig. Stadler into nice placement by Jigu Ashvili for the score. Nice tap with the right hand into the 4-5 seam. No one home for Nebraska Elite. And the tie is broken in the favor of Northern Lights, 14-13, with Tau to serve. Tau up, Tau over. Nice pass and system, tipped over and one. Munson is there. Stadler pushes all the way across. Gleason roll shot over. Nice scramble by Nebraska Elite, and they get it back over. Halbersma, Stadler, Jiguashvili picked up in the back row. Strong side attack coming, Nebraska Elite. It's down the line. Tau gets hands on it, but can't control it. Point, Nebraska Elite. Nice attack down the line. Nice effort by Tau. Point, Nebraska Elite. And we've got the Honorable James D. Welbrock point with Ingram serving. Nope, that's not Ingram. Apologies, that's Vitalo. Stadler goes back to Halbersma, tips into the corner, picked up by Vitalo. Here they come. Right side attack. Finds the net. Point Northern Lights. 15-14. Northern Lights leads in set one with Munson back to serve. Munson's going to skip the approach and just step into it. Good serve into the bench area. Ace serve, Greta Munson. Good job changing her approach based on the space she is given here. And rocks an ace into the 6. Again, she'll take a stationary stance. 16-14 now. Lights leads. Another good serve. Fought off. Trouble. Is it coming back? It is not. A back-to-back ace serves for Greta Munson. And Lights now leads by 3, 17-14. Munson. Another good serve. Ace serve. There's a turkey. Gobble, gobble. Back-to-back-to-back ace serves by Greta Munson. I like the new approach. 18-14 now. Critical 4-point lead for Northern Lights. Munson, can she go 4? Maybe. Just missed the sideline. It was close, but it was wide. Point, Nebraska Elite. Now in to serve, this is Aubrey Taylor. The lefty sends it over. Gleason sends it up high. Stadler returned to center. Gleason down the line. Picked up nicely. Strong side attack coming from Elite. Tipped over the block. Stadler goes down. Wails it into Halbersma, who pushes it to Munson, who dives to get after it. Can't do it. Point, Nebraska Elite. Good scramble by Lights. No luck. And Taylor, the lefty, sends this one looking for the line. Misses wide. Point Northern Lights. And now that'll bring Sakura into the match. She will serve. Set from the back row. Halbersma gets a break. Fives all around down the bench. Sakura to serve. Good strong serve. Nice pass. Strong side attack. Sent over. Tao is there. Sakura outside. Gleason down the line and scores. Jenna Gleason scores for Northern Lights. Bench wanted a long call. It's ruled in. And Sakura climbs back into the broadcast booth. Good serve again by Sakura. Nice pass. Ball's on the court. Look out, look out, look out. We're playing on. Nope. Good job, Munson. Munson cleared the ball away. Once a player engages with that ball coming out of the court, the R1 really doesn't have a choice but to call a replay when the play is around that player. So Sakura will give it another go. 20-16, and that one's long. I'll take the previous play, please. Point Nebraska Elite, and Lights up 3, 20-17 in the red zone. This is Meyer to serve once again. Meyer, big toss, big stroke. Munson, perfect pass. Sakura with option, goes to Gleason. Gleason steps into it, splits the block. Overpass picked up by Tao. Sakura into the middle. Dante over the block. Nice job by Elite to keep it alive. Sent over deep, and too deep. Point Northern Lights. Good scramble on both sides of the net on that point. Well-earned point by Northern Lights. 21-17 now. Jenna Gleason back to serve to our left. Gleason and Coach Phoebe having a conversation. Coach Audrey chuckles. I don't know what was said, but here we go. Gleason down the line. Good pass in system. Strong side attack coming. Stepped into it off the net and almost rolls over, but falls back on the Elite side. Point Northern Lights. Now Northern Lights by a handful. 22-17. Good serve. Good pass in system. Right side attack coming. That one's over the block. Gleason with the dig, but Stadler's got to chase it down. Sends it up high. Sakura, good job staying on her feet and sending it over with two hands. Tip shot over. Nice job by Sakura. Stadler pulls it out of the net, and Sakura sends it over. Great job, Northern Lights defense. Back row attack. The lefty sends it over. Sakura with the dig. Munson's going to go outside. Fettrell steps into it. Down the line. Scores! Ellie Fettrell splits the 1-6 seams cleanly to the floor. Nice attack off some outstanding defense between Sakura and Stadler. Northern Lights 23-17. Good serve by Gleason. Ace serve by Gleason. And now Gleason on the hook for set number 1. Gleason to serve for set 1. It's a good serve. Pass is tough. Strong side attack coming. Roll shot over. Gleason, nice dig. Sakura chases down number 2. Fettrell lets it rip down the line. Just long. Point Nebraska Elite. 24-18. Northern Lights looking for a side out to take set number 1. Back to serve is Allington. Short serve, net serve. Point Lights, set number 1, Northern Lights. 25-18 the score. Northern Lights takes set number 1. A good hard-fought set by both sides. And we are going to send this to Chad Johnson, what we've become.
Standing on the dark side every now and then, alongside a
right, set number 2 starts now. Stadler sends it into the 6. Good pass. Struggling though. Free ball sent over. Gleason is there. Gleason to Stadler. Stadler. Jiguashvili. Good for the tip. Again into the 4-5 seam. Nebraska Elite gets some hands on it, but sends it over the bench, and it's a point Northern Lights. And Northern Lights starts set 2 with an early point. Stadler continues at the stripe. Good serve. Sent up high. Chased down. Free ball coming. Two-hander off the back row. Picked up by Fettrell. Stadler is going to go back to Halbersma. Tip! Nice pickup by Vitalo. And now the strong side roll shots over. Munson is there. Stadler goes outside. Fettrell down the line. Too far down the line. Hits wide. Point Nebraska Elite. 1-1 early. Set 2. Ingram back to serve for Nebraska Elite. Ingram sends it into the 6. Munson is there. Stadler goes outside. Halbersma steps into it, goes down the line. Nice attack. Good defense. Free ball over. Gleason is there. Stadler goes back to Fettrell. Tip shot over the block. Into the campfire. Point Northern Lights. 2-1. They have a slight lead with Tau back to serve. Tau takes aim, lets her rip. Good serve. Decent pass, but it's out of system and it's not coming back. We'll give Tau credit for the ace, and it's 3-1. Tau back to serve. Into the 5-6. Ace serve. Clean ace. Tau deflects it into the stands. 4-1. Maybe Tau can go on a run. This time into the 1. Good serve. Good pass. Right side attack. It's over the block. Stadler picks it up. Munson's going to go to Halbersma on the right side. Over the block, picked up by Vitalo. Free ball coming. No, it's swiped at. Good shot over the block. That was kind of a backhanded swipe. Very successful over the block to the floor. Halbersma came in. Munson came in. They didn't knock heads, which is positive. Point Nebraska Elite, and Vitalo is going to send it over. Alba is there. Stadler all the way across. Nice set. Gleason down the line. Nice shot. Score! Gleason scores for Northern Lights. And it's 5-2. Munson back to serve. Steps, fires deep into the 5. Trouble. Fought off, free ball coming, and there it is. High in the air. Munson sits underneath it. Stadler into the middle. Dante tips into the corner. Picked up nicely. Strong side attack. Punched over, but into the net. Point Northern Lights. Munson back to serve once again. 6-2 the score. Munson rockets one, but it's long. Point Nebraska Elite. Substitution on the Elite side. This is Aubrey Taylor. She'll come in to serve. Taylor, the lefty, lets one rip. Gleason is there. Stadler returned to center. Gleason cut shot. Nice shot, Jenna Gleason. Set pushed her outside. She went outside to get it and then just cut it right down the net into zone 4 for the cross-court kill. Gleason adjusts her feet, goes thumbs down. Cut shot for the score, and now Sakura serves with a 4-point lead, 7-3. Good serve, Sakura, off the Vitalo deflection into the stands. Point Northern Lights. Timeout, Nebraska Elite, as the Lights lead has climbed to 5. 8-3 the score. I'm going to keep things set right here. Got the audio garble that haunted us in the previous match. I am hopeful that it is not returned. Believe it to be an iOS bug. Don't have a good solution. Sakura serving. 5-point lead, 8-3. Sakura. Good serve. Trouble. Good chase down. Free ball coming, and there it is. Nice job by Elite to get it back. Munson. Sakura wants Stadler. Stadler steps into it off the high hands, off the deflection, into court. 66 point Northern Lights, and it's now a 6-point lead. 9-3. Sakura back to serve. Good short serve into the 6. Nice pickup by Vitalo. Perfect pass. Right side attack off the block. Stadler goes down to get it, but sends it into the net outside the antenna. Point. Nebraska Elite. We are one signaled to Northern Lights, but meant to go to Nebraska Elite, and it's 9-4 with Meyer back to serve. Meyer, strong serve. Gleason lets it go at the last second. Good decision or not? It's out. Point Northern Lights. And Gleason maybe helped the lines judge a little bit. Point Northern Lights, now 10-4, Big Buddy, Northern Lights. And now here's Gleason to serve. Gleason goes down the line. Scrambling and free ball over is Nebraska Elite. Sakura pushes outside. Fettrell steps into it, splits the block. Nice dig by Nebraska Elite. They're going to go back row, free ball over. Stadler is there. Sakura into Dante. Mistimed, and it's a point, Nebraska Elite. Had to figure out something I can help. We got a Lego on the wrong side of the net. Oh dear, as Nebraska Elite goes in to serve. Good serve, good pass. Back row attack called. Point to Nebraska Elite. The game's going to continue on, but I've got to help Alba's little sister recover a Lego, so enjoy the sounds of the game for a moment. All right, Lego recovered, crisis averted. Gleason back row finds the net. Point, Nebraska Elite. Good strong attack, but it found the net, and now 3-point lead is Allington back to serve. Sends it into the 6. Munson is there. Sakura goes outside. Down the line goes Fettrell with a bomb. Not coming back. Fettrell crushes the ball down the line for the kill. Point, Northern Lights. 11-7 now with Dante back to serve. Dante up, Dante over, good serve, trouble. That's out, point Northern Lights. 12-7, R1 confirming with the lines judge. 5-point lead for Northern Lights. Good strong serve, good pass, and system is Elite. Strong side attack over the block. Nice job by Gleason. Stadler sends it back, and it's not crossing the net. It's a point Nebraska Elite. Good attempt by Gigiashvili. And now back to serve is Jacobs for Nebraska Elite. Down 4. Jacobs sends it over. Gleason goes down to get it. Sakura goes back to Stadler. Stadler steps into it and rockets it. Nice dig on the Elite side. Strong side attack tipped over. Sakura there. Munson goes outside. Fettrell off the net cord and scores. Fettrell uses the net cord to her advantage. Changes the trajectory of the attack. Falls to the floor. Point Northern Lights. 13-8 the score. Sakura will get a break. Halbersma will come in as Stadler goes back to serve with a 5-point lead. Stadler up. Stadler over, good serve. Vitalo tries to track it, but sends it into court 66, and it's a point Northern Lights. And they're back to an 8-point advantage. They're up 1-0. Stadler into the 5-6 seam, cleanly to the floor. Paige Stadler scores for Northern Lights. 15-8 now, and the lead is a touchdown. I know football season's over, but it still works. Stadler rips this one. Vitalo, perfect pass. Strong side attack. It's trouble. It's free-balled over. Fetchel, nice job to pick it up. Stadler wants Gleason in the back row. Roll shot over. Picked up nicely by Nebraska Elite. Strong side attack. Off the high hands. Picked up by Stadler. Munson to Fetchel. That doesn't go. Confusion there, I think, a little bit. Jiguashvili saw Fetchel come charging in. The set was kind of in between them, and it doesn't make it across the net. Point Nebraska Elite with Ingram back to serve for Nebraska Elite. Ingram up, Ingram over. Fetchel into Stadler outside. Halbersma, the lefty, sends it into the 6, picked up by Ingram. Here comes a strong side attack. It's over the block, sent up high by Halbersma. Munson to Gleason in the back row. She steps into it, going for the deep one. Got too deep into the 1. Point Nebraska Elite, and they're down to a handful. Nebraska Elite not going away here in set number 2. Ingram back to serve. Ingram sends it over. Munson is there. Stadler can't get to the second contact. Point Nebraska Elite, and now it's 4. Well done by Nebraska Elite. Moments ago down 7, now down 4. Ingram continues at the service stripe. Gets the sign. Here's the serve. It's over short. Munson, nice job. Stadler wants Fetchel. Fetchel winds up, fires. Picked up by Nebraska Elite. They're going to come back row. Finds the net. Point Northern Lights. Good break for Lights there as Nebraska Elite was charging. And now Tau in to serve. Tau into the seam. Sent up, middle attack coming. No, swiped down by Jiguashvili for the kill. 17-11. I understand the audio is hosed. Apologies for that. Scrambling our Nebraska lead, not coming back. Ace serve, Tau. 18-11 now. Tau back to a 7-point lead. Off the net cord, make that 8. Alba the ace, Tau scores for Nebraska, for Northern Lights. Timeout, Nebraska Elite. I'm going to make a minor adjustment. Be back in 30 seconds. Trying to get back in here. I don't know if that did anything with the audio, but we'll try this out for a while. It is now 21-11. Tau is continuing the strong service run for Northern Lights. And there she goes, sends it over. Off the deflection, it's down for the ace serve once again. Tau dominant from the service stripe, 22-11. Northern Lights has Nebraska lead doubled up. Another strong serve. Vitalo's all over this one, though. Strong side attack coming from the feet. Sent over. Munson with the dig. Stadler into the middle. Jiguashvili. Good attack, but brought back by Elite. Stadler's going to go outside. Gleason steps into it. Cross court. It's wide. Point Nebraska Elite, and it's 22-12. 10-point lead for Lights. Vitalo back to serve. Sent over. Munson is there. Stadler goes outside. Gleason off the high hands. Nice job by Elite to keep it alive. Tao chases down the overpass. Stadler goes outside. Gleason down the line. Just wide. Gleason going for the short shot into the 1-2 seam. She just misses wide. It's a point to Nebraska Elite. And now Vitalo to serve. Sends it down the line. Tao, perfect pass. Stadler with options. Back to Helbersma. Helbersma tries to go down the line. The antenna is in the way. It's a point to Nebraska Elite. 22-14. Vitalo serving. Lights need 3. Vitalo, strong serve. Munson goes down to get it. Stadler goes outside. Gleason steps into it. Picked up nicely in the back row. Strong side attack coming. Big swing over the block. Tao goes down to get it. No second contact. Point, Nebraska Elite. Coach Phoebe up off the bench. She's got some instructions. Nebraska Elite creeping back into this one. Now just down 7. Vitalo sends it over. Munson is there. Perfect pass. Stadler with options. Goes outside. Gleason. Tip shot off the block to the floor. Gleason scores for Northern Lights. And they stop the charge from Nebraska Elite. Lead is back to 8. 23-15. Lights needs 2 to get set 2 and send the team home undefeated on day 1. Good strong serve, catches the net, just misses wide. Point, Nebraska Elite. Nebraska Elite says not yet, not ready to go home. We're playing on as Aubrey Taylor in to serve. Down 7, the lefty sends it over. Gleason goes down to get it. Stadler sets Helbersma. Helbersma slicing shot, finds the net. Point, Nebraska Elite, and Coach Phoebe wants a timeout on the Northern Lights side. Lights by 6, needing 2. Lights calmly talking it over in the huddle. Given, I think I know what the audio sounds like. I'm not going to do a ton of talking here down the stretch out of fear of complete annoyance. Taylor, the lefty, is going to put it in play, sends it over. Gleason sends it up high, but over, sent back. Helbersma is there. Stadler into Dante. She pushes into the 6, picked up by Vitalo. Strong side attack, roll shot over. Gleason says wide. It catches the line. It's down for a kill. Cross-court winner, and now Nebraska Elite just down 5. Lights just needs a side-out serve-out to take set 2 on the match. But it's not coming easily. Lefty sends it over. Tao goes down to get it. Stadler with options. Outside to Gleason. Roll shot over the block. Picked up by Vitalo, but it's out. And there's the side out. Good play by Vitalo to get underneath that attack, but she pushes it over the net and wide. And now Sakura will enter and serve on the hook for set 2 on the match. Sakura drives the hand in her jersey. Approach. Good strong serve. Passes up. Right side attack. It's a free ball over. Who's there? Tao into Sakura with options. Quickly into Dante. Pushed over. Picked up in the 6. Strong side attack is over the block. Tao goes down to get it. Stadler sends it up high. Gleason roll shot over the block. Picked up by Nebraska Elite. Here they come. This is Meyer from the outside. Sends it over the block. Tao goes down to get it. Sakura pushes outside. Gleason over the block. Nice job. The overball joust at the net. Won by Gleason, and that'll do her. 25th point in set number 2 to Northern Lights. 25-18 the final. Northern Lights finishes the day undefeated. and will play tomorrow, 3 o'clock, as the 1 seed coming out of this pool. They are well into the gold bracket competition. And that'll do it from the Iowa Fieldhouse here, court 67. I don't think that we're going to get players given the audio challenges we're having. So I think we'll stick around a little bit to see what happens, but we will probably start to clean up. I'll give you some Chad Johnson music. Even some jumbled Chad Johnson music is good Chad Johnson music. This one's called Neon Lights.
Time I look at you, it breaks my heart. Don't even care how much you tore me apart. Day after day, I'm just making my way to the light. Oh, the light, the neon lights. Neon lights. Pull up a stool and sit down for a while. I'll talk for hours with my old buddy life. He's a star, you know, just like me in the light. Oh, the light, the neon lights. Neon lights. I know I should go home and go to bed, but I think I'll just stay here instead in the neon light. Neon light. And if I make it home by quarter-to, turn on my Bud Light sign in my living room. On the couch and just watch to the light. Oh, the light, neon lights. Neon lights. Wake up, it's almost noon. She's standing over me, I smell her perfume. She's not happy, no, she's just staying right your life.